What are we seeing?
Saw.
Fuck yeah, we are.
I'm gonna take this hit and then I'm gonna do the intro.
Y'all are living so gold.
Yeah. I'll do that. Alright. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 47 and Counting, which is barely accurate.
Yeah.
So, first of all, my name is Gray. I use they, them pronouns. This is Val, he, they pronouns. We are two DID systems. We are not going to be talking about our diagnosis journey or anything like that, simply because we're not. And, we're just gonna be, this is, first of all, a channel for us to express ourselves in a way where we feel a little bit more secure and safe. And it's also just a way for us to document things, like for therapy and etc., and just for fun. So we might do some vlogs at some point, maybe.
Probably.
That would be fun.
Also, our Instagrams are linked below.
Yeah, we have Instagrams that are linked below.
And this is Gerard. He's cool. You'll get to see more adventures of Gerard if you follow us on Instagram.
Yeah. So, to explain, we are just going to do a chatty video answering some questions about us as systems so you can get to know us for this channel. We will usually be saying who is fronting. At the moment, neither of us really know, so what are you going to do? We've also filmed like 4 videos already before this one, but those are going up later.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get started. Number 1, what is the reason behind the system name? I'll go first. My system name is 8-Bit Garden. And originally it was the Storm Cloud system, which was back when Virgil, who is a fictive of Virgil Sanders, was our host. Like, recently was our host. It's a little complicated, but he still had a big influence on what we felt like was our cohesive identity when it was really just left over from him being the host. And then we changed it to something else. I don't remember. The Cannabis Collective, because the only thing we had in common was that we smoked weed. And then we wanted it to have like a more Minecraft-y feel, and we wanted it to have garden, so 8-Bit Garden.
I'm gonna take a hit before mine.
Okay.
Ours is... That's the name.
Yeah.
So ours is Hell of a System. And the reason why is because at the time we all liked Hell of a Boss. YouTube show. It's cool. You should check it out anyway.
Us promoting our damn YouTube shows. 2. How many are in your system? I'm gonna round up. 45.
I can tell you.
Or maybe it's closer to 40. Actually, I want to look. I'm gonna pause this. Okay, the grand reveal, 37.
Wow. So you were kind of on the money with 40 almost.
Yeah, almost 40.
We have 18.
18. So.
18. Yeah, 18, because I think it's 19 tuppers, but technically one is one I used when I don't know who's fronting.
Yeah. Ours isn't that simple because we have separate tuppers for, like, people who present as different ages, so we have to, like, manually count it every time.
Yeah.
3, is there a roster on who fronts, or is it random? For us, how it works is... we have, like, a bit of frequent fronters, like 3 to 5, maybe. And then everyone else just kind of comes in at random, and frequent fronters last for a cycle, and then they jaggedly cycle out. I don't know if that makes sense, but...
With, my system in particular, I kind of tend to do the same thing. It's really not common for me to have a frequent runner. It's kind of...
That's true.
Very random.
Yours is very random.
Typically, if a new altar splits, they will typically be a frequent fronter for like a couple days.
Same here. We had Eleanor, who is a fictive of Eleanor Shellstrop from The Good Place. She fronted. She was front locked for a week and a half when she split. It was awful. For what gender are you in your alters? I'll let you start.
Okay. So, collectively, we all really use he, him, he, they. So, it's pretty easy to remember. Artemis and Apollo, specifically, are only they, them.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all, as a collective, identify as a trans man?
Yes. Actually, now that I think about it, let me think about that for a minute.
Okay.
You can go ahead and continue, but let me think about that.
My system used to identify as a trans boy for many a year, like 5 a year, I think. And that's a long time for someone my age to identify as something. And yeah, I don't anymore because, first of all, we have a lot of she/her alters. And not all of them would say they're cis, but some of them would. Like, Stephanie is a cis girl, you know? Like, so we are queer, and we are definitely gender queer, especially as a collective. But we have rediscovered our femininity and have started re-embracing it. And so basically, my answer to the question is there is every gender under the sun in this body right here.
Thinking about it again, what I said before is true.
Molly Mock has a sock.
But it also stands true that not all of us do feel like a trans man.
Right, that's what I meant. So, like, Artemis and Apollo are not trans men, but as a collective, you guys identify as a trans man.
So that, yes. 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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that makes sense.
What are the sexualities within the system? Everyone in our system doesn't give a fuck.
Same.
Yeah, we're both, like, X identified as pansexual. Now we don't not identify as pansexual.
Listen, I
am in love with you.
I stand by the trans flag.
Yeah, we don't even really do that much anymore, us, because of the femininity thing. Mm. It's like Waylon and Virgil, I think, are the ones who are very much like, I am trans, this is part of my identity. Mm-hmm. The rest of us are like, we're either genderqueer, which is being trans, but you understand. Or we're just like, whatever. Right. Number 6, who is your host / original or default? What the fuck? We don't have a host. We're going for functional multiplicity. Our original is our dead name, so we're not telling you that. And the default, we do have someone who is like a default fronter, and that person cycles in and out. Lately it's been Casper.
Yeah, sometimes it kind of goes hand in hand with like splits too.
Yeah,
there is a default fronter.
Usually the newest.
I would say Eddie and Traeger both are very common to front in the morning.
Yeah, when your brain's not fully like active yet.
Yeah. It's typically those two.
Are you open about being multiple? Why or why not? I am open pretty much completely because I'm very privileged in that I am a freelance ghostwriter and that is my commitment. Otherwise, I literally have no obligation to talk to people who don't understand or get me, so I don't. Are you open about being multiple?
I would like to be. Okay. I definitely do want to be. Okay. It's just a little bit, it's difficult. Mm-hmm.
They're playing Minecraft, by the way.
Yeah. It is difficult to be open about, having multiple of you.
Yeah, I get that. This is a stupid question.
Oh, I'm ready.
The question isn't even that's not what's making me laugh. I'll just read it. What type of alters do you have? I.e., fictives, protectors, self-destroyers? I mean, like, I guess.
Hear me out. I do have a self-destructive alter, but he doesn't want to be identified as self-destructive.
No.
Who's your self-destructive alter?
Yeah.
It's this person.
Who's your like, there's a difference between, like, us making jokes about, like, Jeremy, for instance. Jeremy in our system is very self-destructive. Then being like, yeah, he's the self-destructive one.
Yeah. And also, it's only okay for certain people to make those jokes.
Yeah, like, that was just weird. We have all kinds of alters. There's 40 of us. I don't know what you want.
We have, since there's less of us,
fictives, protectors.
We have fictives, we have protectors. We have, 2 little men now, as of recently.
Little men.
Lewis is a non-human alter. And Vic is a non-human alter. And that's interesting because Vic and Amygdala, or AIM for short, they're very interconnected. So they're very separate people, but very similar, if that makes any sense to anyone.
I get it, but that's because we've had in-depth conversations about it.
Yeah.
Are any alters in relationships outside the system? We are system partners, so...
Besties.
How do you explain DID to singlets? I haven't really had to do that very often. I explain it as a trauma disorder that causes your identity to fracture into multiple parts. I don't know.
Pretty on brand.
Which alter has been around the longest? For us, this is an easy answer. This won't be easy for you. But for us, it's Stephanie. She's been around since before we can even remember.
So, for me, I actually didn't realize I had DAD until, like, this year.
Well, we realized around the same time, but
yeah.
I just...
But you had been more aware of it than I had.
Yes,
though.
that's also true.
So you had Stephanie before you even knew you had DID, and you were
right. Yeah,
she was just there.
Yeah, I called her my imaginary friend or a hallucination.
Yeah,
but I knew she was there, and I was communicating with her.
But so where was I going with that? What was the question again? Sorry.
Which alter's been around the longest?
Yeah, so you're more solidified because of that. Me knowing just my system as I've started to learn it, I'm kind of realizing that there were a couple alters that have been around a lot longer than I thought. Eddie and Traeger, for example. They split back when I was, 2013 when Outlast came out. Let me just say that. Because obviously, Traeger split first, and then after, when Whistleblower came out, then Eddie came along. But they are both probably the oldest. I would say Traeger by far over anyone.
That makes sense, yeah.
But obviously...
That you know of.
Yeah, that we know of.
Yeah.
Right now.
And, like, we also don't know. Like, we're pretty confident, but for us, that just this very specific facet was very cut and dry for us, so... And it's not usually. Let's just do a couple more. I'd say we'll do the first 15, and then in another video we'll do the other 15.
Okay.
Who is the newest alter? In our case, that would be... I forgot. We have a new little/middle, Christopher Robin. They use they, them pronouns. They, he, but they really prefer they. And yes, they are an interject of Christopher Robin from Winnie the Pooh.
Our newest little guy is Nugget, and he's a mess. He's like, if Traeger was a single parent and raised him, he's a mess.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Nugget. How many people know you're multiple? Anyone I'm close with. So, a handful.
You, Skylar, my fairy wary. I think that's all.
Last question. How long have you known you were multiple? We found out.
I mean, we've already
year
answered
ago.
that question, so I think
Yeah.
I think we should do a bonus question.
Okay. I'm gonna make one up.
Okay.
Which altar, in your opinion, has? Okay. Here's the question.
Okay.
Which altar of mine, and then I'll do for yours, has the best music taste?
I don't know.
Who has the best outfit choices?
Fuck. First one that comes to mind is Rosie or Lilith.
Valid. They be popping off. For you, I'm trying to just make sure. I'm strongly gonna say it's really a tie, but like Traeger.
Really?
Yeah, it was either him or Eddie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eddie.
Well, like Eddie dresses like he cares a lot, but Traeger it just has like a gift.
He has this talent of putting things together that I don't think should go together, but they do.
Who cares?
And whatever. He's his own human.
All right, that's our first episode. Thanks for getting to know us. Leave any.
I flipped off the camera a couple of times. I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
I don't know.
Anyway, see ya.